If Jim ever goes to eat this chocolate, he's gonna be like, why are there teeth marks all over it? Do it for the thumbnail. So today, the part of me that's on a diet is crying inside, but I am doing the chocolate book tag. I was tagged by Angela over at Literature Science Alliance. I will link her channel down below, and let's just jump right into it. Okay, so the first one is Dark Chocolate, and it's a book that deals with dark topics. And for this one, I chose Republic of Thieves by Scott Lynch. It is the third book in the Gentleman Bastard series, and I can't go into too many details about it because it's the third book in the series, but part of the beginning of the book deals a lot with mortality and depression and like self-doubt and like the thoughts that go through your mind when bad things happen to people that you love and you come out relatively unscathed, and kind of like all the inner turmoil that comes with that kind of situation. And yeah, it was hard hitting for me. So for me personally, that book dealt with some dark topics. So that's my answer for that question. Number 2 is White Chocolate, and it is a lighthearted or humorous read. And for me, that is The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. It was very lighthearted. There was a lot of banter in that book. I really enjoyed it. It was just a cute, funny, lighthearted office romance, and that's my answer for that question. Number 3 is Milk Chocolate, and it's a book that's really hyped that you can't wait to get to. And for me, that's actually Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. I've been putting it off for so long. I just want to read it. But at the same time, it's so daunting because it's huge. But I've heard it's so good. And like my husband started reading it and he wasn't enjoying it, but then the farther along he got, the more he liked it. So I just want to read it, but it's so big, so I just keep getting intimidated by it. But that is a very hyped book in my corner of BookTube, so I can't wait to get to it. Number 4 is Chocolate with a Caramel Center, and it's a book that made you feel all gooey while you were reading it. And so for me, I chose The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. I loved that book, and the whole time I was reading it, I was just gooey inside. I don't know how to explain it. Chocolate with caramel is my favorite kind of chocolate. Like caramel filled chocolate is my absolute favorite. I could eat it every day of my entire life and never get sick of it. And The Unhoneymooners is a hate to love romance that was just fun. It was lighthearted. It took place in a tropical location. It reminded me of my honeymoon, not the hate to love part, and nothing in particular about it, just the setting. And it takes place in Hawaii, but we went to Jamaica, but the tropical setting, it just reminded me of my honeymoon. And so yeah, that made me very gooey inside while I was reading it for several different reasons. I just loved it so much. Number 5 is a Wafer-free Kit-Kat, and that's a surprising read because if you bite into a Kit Kat and it doesn't have a wafer, you're gonna be surprised. So my book for this one is Beauty Queens by Libba Bray. When I read this book, well, actually, I listened to the audiobook and I had no idea what to expect. I thought it was just going to be just kind of like a fun YA whatever. It was so good and so entertaining, and the audiobook was great. And I got so much more than I expected from it. It wasn't deep or anything. But again, I was expecting just a dumb YA book about beauty queens getting stranded on an island, and it was so much more than that, and I loved that book. And if you haven't read it, I really recommend listening to the audiobook because it was great. Okay, number 6 is Snickers, and it's a book you're going nuts about, and this is the second time I'm going to mention this series, and I'm sorry, but I just love it, and that's The Gentleman Bastards by Scott Lynch. I love that series so much. It is my new all-time favorite series. I cannot wait for book 4 to be published whenever that's going to happen. I have no idea. But I just love that series so much. It took me by surprise. I figured I would like it. I didn't realize how much I would love it when I read it. And even through the first book, I didn't realize how much I loved it until I got to the second book. And then thinking back on the first book, once I actually realized who the characters were, what their relationships were, and basically the author's style, I have nothing but good things to say about this series. I loved every second of it. Okay, number 7 is Hot Chocolate with Cream and Marshmallows, and it's a comfort read. So for me, a comfort read is basically any contemporary romance, like cute contemporary romance. And so for this one, I chose Well Met by Jen DeLuca, which was also one of my favorite books from last year. I really loved this book, and I don't necessarily know that it would be for everyone, but I read it at a time where, so the book takes place at a Renaissance fair, and I read it right around the time that I went to a Renaissance fair. So I was able to kind of insert myself into the story and just get that much deeper involved in the book. And I think that really amped up my enjoyment of it. So for me, that's my answer, but really any good, lighthearted, fluffy, adult contemporary romance could work for this. Those are very comfortable for me. I love them, and they just make me feel good. So there you go. Okay, and number 8 is A Box of Chocolates, and it's a series with a lot of variety and something for everyone. This tag is kind of becoming a joke, honestly, because this is now the 3rd time I'm going to use this as an answer out of 8 questions. So clearly I need to work on my tag skills. But The Gentleman Bastard series by Scott Lynch. It has humor, it has action, it has romance, it has angst. It has friend groups to die for. Like, it has everything. I feel like every time I talk about The Gentleman Bastards, it ends up just like, I don't have words. Every time I talk about this series, I feel like all I can say is, it's so good, please read it. But seriously, it's so good, please read it. It really does have something for everyone. And I'm sure not everyone will love it, but it does have something for everyone. Who doesn't like a box of chocolates? So who won't like The Gentleman Bastards? I guess there are people that won't like it because there are people that don't like boxes of chocolates, and those people are weird and wrong. But yeah, my answer for that is The Gentleman Bastard series by Scott Lynch. It has something for everyone, and I just think everyone should give it a shot. So apparently this tag just turned into like a love letter to The Gentleman Bastards, but I'm okay with it. I hope you are too. And that's it for the tag. So Angela did this tag and she put it out on Valentine's Day. So it's not like seasonally appropriate anymore, but I guess I'll tag a few people anyway. Okay, I am going to tag Kayla from Crack Into a Good Book, Michael Nip, Emily Rose, because she just started making videos again and I'm super excited about it. So you're tagged too. And I think that's it. 3 is good. We'll leave it at 3. Anyone else, if you want to do this tag, please do it. It's super fun and I would love to see your answers. So let me know if you do it. I am going to go put this chocolate back in the cabinet before I eat any of it because this is not on my diet right now. And then I'm going to go cry because I can't eat this chocolate because it's not on my diet right now. And I will see you next time. Bye.